What's up, Wavehealernation? Welcome back to another show. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm very excited because this next guest that I have for you, we have crossed paths in many different ways. And both recently were in the Improv City alumni show together. And we hadn't seen each other for a while. When we ran into each other again, we were like, how come this has never happened? And I'm like, let's just make it happen. So here we are. She is such an amazing talent. Just talking with so many people recently. She is a voiceover actor. She is a improv actor. I believe she does a little bit of on-film acting as well. She loves video games. She is a great singer. And I'm just excited to have her on the show. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show the amazing Amanda Picard. Amanda,
I
thank you
am
for
al-
joining us.
I am also a blushing beauty with how much you're building me up right now. Oh my goodness, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, no, thank you, thank you. So, if people did not know, Amanda and I came into Improv City at the same
Yes, we
time.
did. Yes, we did. About 2017, something like that, right?
Yep. We were in the same audition class, and
Oh
we
my
were
God.
one of the two of the I think five or six that came through at that time. So
There were like four or five of us,
yeah,
and I stayed with the troupe up until about 2021. You were only there for a couple of like a year or so,
yeah,
correct?
about a year and a half, and then I
Yeah.
switched to focusing on camera acting. So
And as far as I know, you've been killing that, right? Absolutely excelling at it. I'm so
uh,
proud of you.
I'm getting there. Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate it. It's been a lot of fun so far, and with that, Amanda, I want to start with you. Tell us, how did you first get into like performing? Like, what was the first, like, I guess,
Oh
method that
boy.
started for you? Yeah.
Well, you can ask my mom that ever since I was a child, I was always singing, I was dancing around. I would actually at like 3 years old, I would put in the VHS if anybody remembers that, and play Disney movies and perform and sing and know the lines with all of the Disney movies. The only one I can, my favorite one I think was Aladdin, and because I love being Jasmine and being like that saucy, sassy, just goal that she is.
Mm-hmm.
And as I kept going, I just wanted to be a part of every single production that was in school. Unfortunately, never really got any good roles. I blame my height, but maybe there was just everybody else around me was a little bit more talented. But it is what it is, and I just always love being big and seeing people's reactions when I would do something strange, something great. Just seeing those reactions would just feed me that good dopamine into my brain.
Mm-hmm.
And I would just wherever I went, I would just be open to opportunities. Hey, my friend needs some extras. You want to come? Absolutely. Hey, you want to come be a part of the show? Heck yeah, let's go. Just keeping myself available to that. And it is the journeys that I have gone on have been absolutely just fantastic. I've worked with such great people and done some incredible been a part of some incredible shows, from like some voiceover work to scare acting to just doing dumb stuff in front of people like improv.
Yeah, for sure.
Because there's some crazy stuff that goes on there, you know that.
Yeah. So Amanda, it sounds like you kind of took to the stage ever since you were little. You've always loved attention and performing for people. Was there any point in time when like you was there a time in your life where you like actually started taking classes and started studying at one point?
I have been continue I, let me start that over. I have been consistently taking classes up to a certain point. I unfortunately reached a point a while ago where I was never really confident in myself. It's like I knew I could do it,
Mm-hmm.
but unfortunately, I felt that everyone around me was better, and my personality can be a little strong sometimes. I can admit that.
Mm-hmm.
And and people would oftentimes tell me like, you're so like, you're good, you're great, you're what have you. And I just wouldn't believe them. And it wasn't until I'm actually still kind of learning how to be okay with marketing myself and putting myself out there. I wish I could tell you I was a regularly working performer, but
Mm-hmm.
right now I'm a regularly working theater technician at my local community college. But working crew and on stage, backstage, you just so long as you put me in a performing space, I will do whatever needs to be done and have just a blast doing it.
Yeah. No. Wow. That's really cool. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Man, I want to get to a point too. So what made you want to come into Improv City? Because for my journey, I feel like anybody's journey into that is, there's no one wrong or right way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So what? How did you find out about him, and what called you to it?
Well, I was looking for. I was okay. Well, I was actually looking for improv classes because I had done a little bit of comedy sports back in high school, and I was not good at it at all. I'm just second guessing, anxiety. It's a real thing. And I just was bored and needed to get out of the house. And I remember like, I'll try improv again and see what that's like. So I actually looked up, tried to look up improv classes at the Irvine Improv Comedy Club,
Mm-hmm.
and couldn't understand why. It's like, don't they have any improv classes? Oh, because it's a comedy club. And then Improv City just kind of popped up, and I just started showing up, and it's like, hey, we have auditions on Sunday or whatever. And I told work that, hey, I'm gonna be a little late. I've got this going on. I lied because because auditioning for an improv troupe I do not think would qualify as a reasonable excuse. But I just kind of showed up, and I felt like I did okay at the auditions, and apparently they did, because the director, Devin Dugan, who's a fantastic guy,
Mm-hmm.
he let me in, and he let me stay for quite a while. And I eventually left during 2020 because I had to focus on myself for reasons.
Mm-hmm.
And I came back. They begged for me back. What can I say? After every time I walked in, they would be like, when are you coming back? And I'd say, oh, when I feel like it. No, but I came back, and I recently left the troupe again because I have other more important things that are going on right now. And unfortunately, my improving is not big right now. However, I owe them the world, because I actually do get hired on a lot because of my ability to improv.
Mm-hmm.
So I may not be doing improv comedy anymore, but it is paying with dividends. Is that the proper term?
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yes.
Totally get you, and I'm glad you're bringing all this up too. First of all, shout out to Devin and Gina over there at Improv City.
Mm-hmm.
They're very understanding, and that's all they ever want to do is to build us up and to let us go and do more creative endeavors as well.
Mm-hmm.
I know, and it's good to hear that from other performers as well too, Amanda. Is that we all kind of have our own journey, our own process with not feeling enough. Am I good enough? And people tell you this, and are they just blowing smoke at me? And
Oh my God, that's so real. It's so
yeah,
real.
and I've talked about it a lot in my journey, on this show. But it's good to hear that from you as well, Amanda, because I always enjoy sharing the stage with you. And when you do perform, I've seen it firsthand, and I've been a part of it. But you are very powerful. You are very confident in your voice and in your movements. And I'm
Thank
not
you.
blowing smoke. I'm saying that as a fellow performer, person in the arena with you.
I do believe you. I do pride myself on my physicality
Mhm.
and my singing, because I find everybody's, or most everybody, is too afraid to sing improv, and for me, it comes rather easily. I'm not trying to brag or anything, but it's like, don't be afraid. We're all gonna look stupid up there anyway. We might as well have a good time doing it. Plus, we're all gonna forget about this at the end of the show anyway. Because at the end of every show, it's like, what games do we play? I don't know.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, but I do appreciate it. Now, if you said, no, actually, I'm not going to say that. Never mind.
To that note, and then I want to move forward. Is no, I've actually been intimidated by you before, Amanda, because you are no, seriously, you are such a good singer, and I am not. I'm a good karaoke singer. I like to do it for fun. But when we were in the troupe, they would always give you like the musical songs because you were good at it, and I think there was a point back when we were both regular in the troupe that they did it so much you got sick of singing the songs. And you wanted to do just more scene work. And I know recently when we were in that alumni show, I was like, oh man, I got the musical comedy with Amanda. But you know, at this time, I mean, like I said, I've been performing with you for a while and I've done it before. I wasn't as intimidated, and you just got to play big when you go up against Amanda, and that's what I did. And I had a few people come up to me and they said it worked, so that was fun. Thank you, because it's been a while. Because I had to match you. I had no choice.
I just want to make you look good. That's the goal with improv. It's,
for sure.
I make you look good because I trust you to make me look good.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So that's awesome. Amanda, I wanted to get into this a little bit because it kind of just came up out of nowhere, and I've never like really had the chance to sit down and talk to you about this. And I want to know like when it happened. You have been a scare actor for the 7th Door for the past, what is it, 5 or 6 years now?
This will be my 5th season. Yes,
it will. Tell me about that. How did you find out about that? And how did you get into it? And what has it been like? Yeah, let's talk.
Well, originally, my first year there, I believe, was 2019. And
so you were still in the troupe when it happened, right?
Yes, I was.
Okay.
I had missed the auditions for Not Scary Farm. And I had been through the 17th Door before. For those of you who don't know, the 17th Door is a very intense haunt experience. It is, you have to sign a waiver before you go in. It is a like 30-minute experience where there are 17 or so different rooms, each with a different experience. And you stay in the room for about a minute. Each cycle is about 90 seconds. And we'll get to that in a second.
Yeah, and real quick, let me preface this for my listeners out there. All my haunters, you know what 17th Door is, especially my Southern California people. But for my people on the East Coast and people who are not haunt fans, it is considered an extreme haunt. Meaning that they can shock you, they can touch you, they can separate you from their group, they can potentially make you eat things. They can throw stuff on you. So they can do, and again, you have to sign a waiver for all this. It is all consensual. But
and there is a huge sign on the outside of the building. That's a big banner, a big thing that says advisory. All of this stuff can happen. All of this stuff is included. There is water, roaches, shocks, tight spaces, claustrophobia, non-consensual acts of intimacy, ideas and story and whatever. It is. I went through it twice as a guest before I partook. It's no joke. Some people can deal with it. Some people cannot.
Yeah, and personally, you guys know I've been a scare actor. I started at Halloween Horror Nights. I love haunt stuff. I've never 17 Door is about the only thing I haven't done. It is, I know it's actually I feel like I don't know if I would like it, just to the point of I feel like it's a little too much for me. I float in the realm of I love delusion because it's immersive and it's interactive, but they don't make you eat things and they don't shock you and that sort of thing. So
we don't make you eat stuff,
right?
Unfortunately.
Correct.
Yeah, if you do not want to do something, if you are a good monster, you will not force that person to do it.
There we go. Yeah, thank you for that language. But just for my cup of tea, that's where I kind of float. But yes, I am very excited. I feel like at one point I do want to do it. I think maybe this could be the year, so I'm just excited to be talking to you about it. But didn't want to interrupt you. Go ahead, continue to tell us.
Well, now that I know that you're that you've never done it before, Justin, I will give you a personal invite and a personal tour and make sure that you are very well taken care of.
There we
What does
go.
that mean?
I
Find
love that.
out.
Yes, yes, I'm excited. So yeah, please continue. How did in your first year, and how did you like it, and what made you want to keep coming back?
Oh my goodness. Well, my first year I walked in, I was at a very, very low point in my life. I was still heartbroken over a relationship that ended. And I was just like, I had always wanted to try. I had always wanted to try to be a monster. And when I showed up there, I'm like, there's a lot of people here, and some of these people are really scary. But I went in, and they loved how I could do improv. And they saw. You said that I intimidated you. Apparently, that's a running theme with me. And I just started doing it. The season went. It was brutal. It's brutal work. It's so much fun, but it can be so brutal because you are essentially from, let's say on a normal day, we open at 7 o'clock. Doors open, first group in at 7. You are going until about 12:30, 1 o'clock, because we could close at 12 o'clock midnight, but that final guest is not getting through until at least like 12:30 through the front door. And if you're at the back of the maze, it's going to be a whole half hour before the final group even gets to you. And your voice is gone. Your muscles are sore. Whatever workout you're doing right now, listener, whatever workout you're doing, drop it and go work and go be a haunt actor, because you will lose weight.
Yes.
Because you're just on your feet all day and screaming at people. And the reason I keep going back is, for me, is not just because it allows me to really, what's the word I'm looking for? Engage, or I believe to really use my chaotic, aggressive, intense energy that I get complimented for and I get hired for. I get to use it freely. I get to embrace it. That's the word I'm looking for. I really get to embrace it, and I'm allowed to do that, and I get celebrated for it. I'm actually, I've kind of moved up the ranks up in there. Plus now I'm considered a veteran, and I'm considered a veteran by the people who work there. And that is the absolute reason I keep going back. Plus, nowhere else except for like law enforcement can you say you shock people and like not get like, wait, what?
Yeah.
But it is the people, because we are all freaks. We're all weird. Some of us are scarier than others. Some of us are incredibly shy and keep to ourselves. But when you allow the people in there to just do whatever within reason, we do get in trouble. I have done quite a few things that have gotten me in trouble. Nobody's perfect, but it's the relationships. I have met some of my closest, bestest lifelong friends there, because when you work, because the relationships there are forged in fire. We have one room that, like, hold on. We get people there who are at their worst of humanity kind of moments. We get people in there who will like throw punches. I've been groped a couple times. You never get hit on more, no matter what you look like, no matter how beautiful or how ugly you think you are. You will never get hit on more than when you are a scare actor, because people try to suck up to you so you won't do anything to them. But that's when you just sidle up right next to them and just put your arm around their shoulder, and you just kind of make them feel as tastefully uncomfortable as possible. It's so much fun. But yeah, these relationships have been forged in fire because we are all in the thick of it. We're tired, we're throwing up, we're sore, we're broken. people get severely injured when they work there, because some of those rooms, I'm not quite sure. It's like, can we do that? And somehow we end up doing it. Like one room we call the tumbler. Unfortunately, I think that room is retired. If it's not, yay. But the room literally rotates 180 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
And that room is going whether you like it or not. So it's like people will come in, people are drunk, people are scared, people are high, people are angry, people have their children in there for some reason.
Wow.
Like I've seen like 5-year-olds go through and they're not always happy to be there. Usually not. But it's like when the tumbler starts spinning, if you're not up against the wall, like we told you to, you are going to fall and land against a padded wall, which still hurts. And then we have to stand you up and push you up against the wall again to do it again. But for personal and for legal reasons, I guess this is a joke. It's so funny. It's so funny to see drunk people who don't understand. It's like, go up against the wall. What are you talking about? Blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay. And then the wall starts going and they just fall. And it's like, this is hilarious.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate and we don't want you to get hurt, but it's and then you look like an idiot in front of your friends and whatever. It's just, it's so choice. You see the best of humanity and the worst of humanity, but it's so unique, and it's an experience unlike any other. And I cannot thank Heather and Robbie Luther, who own and operate the 17th Door. Heather is awesome because she manages the cast and she's the one to communicate with all of us, and we love her to death. She loves unicorns, so send her unicorns. Robbie is an absolute maniac. We don't know where he thinks of this stuff. You want to strap people, you want to call it group therapy, and strap people in roller coaster style to a chair and push a button that will shock another person across from you. How do you think of that? You want to fling roaches at people? How do you think why that choice? You want to put people in a gas chamber and have them land in a ball pit?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Let's go. Let's see what we can do.
Yeah.
But it's such an experience. And again, I would highly recommend anybody go through. We do offer mercy pendants for, I believe, $5. They are just glow sticks that you wear around your neck, necklace style. And they are 83% effective because no one's perfect. And when you wear that, it basically tells the monsters that don't shock me, don't touch me, you get a less intense experience, but it's still very intense in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we have so many types of people come through. We have old people, young people, big, huge people, small people, elderly people who have no idea what they got themselves into, but they come through and everybody's smiling and laughing, and you can't please everyone, but just to see their face as they're exiting out of the room and to just drop that extra little stare on them when they didn't see you go around the corner, it's just, it's my happy place. My own little personal private slot of hell. It's absolutely wonderful.
I love that you found a family in it, and I'm glad that you found a confidence in it too as well, because I feel like whatever haunt that you have during the season, you find your family and, like you said, your lifelong friends. You have those experiences with you, you take them with you, and it's brutal and it sucks, but it's also awesome and you love it, and like you said, you just keep coming back.
Yep.
I wanted to touch on a couple things real quick, and
of course,
we'll move forward from this. But it has been so cool because I rubbed shoulders with or rub elbows with figuratively speaking with Heather and Robbie.
Oh.
Because I was gonna have them on the show a long time ago. I think this was pre-COVID. But it just never happened. They're really good friends with the people at Midsummer Scream, and I know they make a big presence
Oh,
there.
of course, of course, of course. I have
Yeah.
never been to Midsummer Scream. I will say I know bad hot actor, bad hot actor.
Well,
But
we got to change that. I'll make sure
I know.
we'll change that this year for you.
Hey,
So
you come through the 17th door, and I'll go to Midsummer.
we're
Fair?
with it. We're with it. Yeah. So I recently just announced we again got our press passes for Midsummer, so we'll have to get you in there.
Oh hell, yeah, that'd be awesome.
But no, it's such a great thing, and like I said, everybody in the Haunt family they're we're all freaks and geeks and united at some point. We all have our own things, and yeah, it's funny. I've had a couple people on the show that were previous scare actors of 17th Door, but I've never like actually gotten a chance to sit down and talk with people about it. So thank you for coming on here. But no, I hopefully in the future if it still goes and it happens, we can get Heather and Robbie on here and we can talk more about it. But I know they've been on other big name shows as well in the haunted industry.
Yeah,
but,
they actually have their own reality TV show that they shot over the past couple years, starting in 2019. It's called Spook Show 17, and I believe you can see it on most streaming websites. But if you want to see how we build that sucker, Spook Show 17, absolutely go watch it. Unfortunately, I don't appear much in it, but alas, but the second season, I believe, will be coming out within the next year or so, and hopefully I'll be in that one. Please, Robert. Please, Robbie. Heather. Please, if you're listening to this. But yeah.
There you go, people. Spook Show 17. Excited for that. Amanda, real quick. I've actually talked to people that one of the people she did my meal prep during pandemic. And just talking to other people, there have been some people who have been scarred from 17th Door in a good way. She said that she went through it a few years ago. I believe the storyline at that point, can't remember if it was, God, there's been so many, but I don't know if it was the jail theme or if it was something.
So we have been in jail since 2019.
Okay.
We were supposed to go to, if you look at the story, college student had a baby, did away with the baby, went to prison, and she's supposed to she's supposed to go to college, but because 2020 was 2020, so we had to stick with the prison, and then they decided to add an add-on experience in 2021, where we put you in a van, took you off site about 10 minutes away, and you got like an entire 45-minute experience with that, where you went through the two-parter, The Fast and the Furriest, where imagine a club with Lamborghinis and a bunch of furries. Shout out to the furry community. I'm not one of you, but I love and respect you guys. And then you would come, and then after that, you would go do something minor, and you would show up at a right-wing extremist car shop. I'm sorry, mechanic that is run by right-wing extremist clowns that are also cooking drugs in the back. And that was operated more like a survival horror video game, where you have to keep down or run, and you do not know fear until the music is pumping and you are leading a bunch of people through some chain link fence with two crazy clowns chasing behind you with cattle prod like tasers. You don't know fear, but you also do not know the adrenaline rush and the excitement of doing that. Oh my God, field trip is so much fun. Sorry.
Yeah, no, just listening to that's getting my heart racing.
That's home right there. That's home.
Yeah. What an experience. Wow. But anyway, to that point, I know we could be here forever talking about it, Amanda, but besides that particular experience, are there like scares or storylines or moments that kind of stick out to you from your experiences so far being at 17th Door? I know that's a tough question, but...
Oh my God, there's so many. Just kind of things that happen because of 17th door. I mean, everybody has their good days, bad days. I have groups that stick out in my mind for better or for worse. But I mean, 17th door saved my life. Honestly, I was going, I went through a period of time in the last year where I found myself, I was diagnosed with ADHD a couple years ago, and didn't get medication until just recently, which is awesome, by the way. And I hit a point where I got in my car, and for some reason I had this realization that my entire life has been going in circles, just round and round, start something, doesn't work out. And I was on the brink a little bit, and my friends who I met at 17th door, they were all there for me, but I got a gig as a hype PA because one of my good friends, Raina Velarde, is Chainsaw the wrestler on Women of Wrestling on WoW.
Oh yeah, yeah, she's super cool. I've met her before.
She's beyond fantastic.
Yeah.
And when I was there, it's like I'm hyping people up. I have my own section. I almost had a fan club by the end of it because of my energy and how intense I am. I'm able to sell it to the cheap seats. If you're an actor, you know what that means. We all know what that means.
Yeah.
And I had at the final day, it was like 4-day thing. I had a man come down to me and say, "Hey, I'm this person. I'm like an executive of CVS or something like that. How come you're not in the ring?" And I was like, "Oh my God, what are you saying?" And I went and I told my friend, my bestest friend in the entire world, Alex Cohen, one of the founders of formerly Black Mass. He works at the 17th door with me. Now I believe he's doing shows for punk shows in Long Beach. He could tell you better than I could, but he's such a fantastic individual, one of the people I love most. And I went to him afterwards, after that happened, and I cried into in his arms, being like, I wanted to hurt myself not 3 weeks ago, and now I've got people asking me, how come you're not a wrestler? And I went and auditioned for a while. Unfortunately, I didn't get in this round, but they know me, they like me, they want me to come back and audition. So the opportunities that have arisen just by doing an improv show a couple times has just, it's opened up everything for me. So I could tell you everything that's happened at 17th door, but it ripples into my everyday life too. And I cannot thank my family, my haunt family. I owe everything to them.
Yeah, no, thank you so much for sharing that, Amanda. And I love your excitement. Congratulations. That's awesome, by the way. Shout out to WoW Women of Wrestling. We've had a lot of the wrestlers come through the show.
Because I know you're a fan of wrestling. That was one of the first things I knew about you.
Yeah.
I always loved seeing you whenever we would do a scene at improv and you went like wrestler mode. Your eyes just lit up and you're like the biggest smile on your face, and you had that energy that honestly I recognized in myself, and it was like, yeah, and I was like, oh my God. So I know how big of a fan of wrestling you are.
Yeah, no, thank you. I love that. I mean, that's just 8-year-old me coming out and shining. I still love wrestling to this day, and I'm still into MMA and all those things. And when I get those opportunities to speak to those girls, and we've had some of those girls say some of the same things, as they were on a dark path, and wrestling that promotion helped them get there. So really excited for you for that, and shout out to 17th door again for paving the way and laying the foundation for it. Amanda, wow, that's man, my soul is smiling right now. I love when I get that feeling.
I appreciate that. Just I always say about monsters and scare actors, we may be monsters, but we're really good people most of the time.
Yeah, no, for sure. And we're gonna have you come back and talk more about that. But I wanted to get to this is I know you love video games just like I do, and I do, and I know that we used to play Dungeons and Dragons together at one point.
We did used to play Dungeons and Dragons together.
Very fun. So tell us about what are some of the things that keep you motivated and inspired and keeping you feeling creative? Because I know we always need that creative release and that creative outlet. And when we don't have those improv shows to get up there, let it all out on the show, leave it there. What are some of the other things that do fill you back up creatively?
Filling me back up creatively, I do have to say I have not been on the acting path these days. I had, which is not a bad thing in any way, shape, or form. I actually had sorry, but if just keeping me feeling creative, I did actually start playing Dungeons and Dragons again, which is so much fun. Real good group that I got. And I love to watch YouTube. I have my comfort videos, and I'm kind of one of those people that when I find a channel I like, I will watch them until I find something else, and then I will watch them. But I just try and I will take influence from them, and like I'll start dropping some of their humor. I mean, we're talking like Jenna Marbles, just being the kind of random, like, okay, this is what's happening now. This is absolutely ridiculous, but you know what? Let's just do this and see if it works. I apply it to my normal life, where I try not to let a whole lot of things bother me for a long time. I've learned to just kind of go with the flow, and of course, hold on, my brain is.
Yeah, you're good.
My brain went weird. I just keep my eyes open with whatever I'm doing, whatever I'm seeing, whether it be video games, YouTube videos. I go see a show. I hang out with a friend. I just people watch. I just keep myself open. And when something sticks with me, I remember it, and I feel how that impacts me, so that I can, whether for empathy purposes of putting myself in somebody else's shoes, or, I'll just take that and use that as a character someday. I just keep my eyes open, and I observe and I listen, because that's what being a good actor is. A good actor listens and reacts. Yes. And that's just how I live my life.
Oh man, I love that. That's great.
Thank you.
I love that has helped bring you into a brighter space, if you will.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm much brighter. I'm actually looking to get back into voiceover work a little bit as soon as I get over my fear of the microphone that's sitting on my desk glaring at me every day. Like, use me. No, I'm scared.
Yeah, well, we warmed you up to it because you're in front of a microphone right now on the show, so it's good. It's good.
You devil, you tricked me.
Amanda, man, thank you so much, man. I just, it's so good to talk to you and just be around you. Your energy and your excitement for life just carries so many. I know this is going to help inspire so many people. So thank you for coming on here.
I hope so, and I really appreciate that. And listener, if you're going through a time right now, I understand that, but this too shall pass. Enjoy the good times and get through the bad times, because that's how I live my life. This too shall pass. Feel it, because as John Green says, everything demands to be felt. So yeah, but thank you so much for having me on the show. This was this is such a pleasure.
For sure.
It's such a pleasure to even be considered.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I want to leave people with this, Amanda, because we talked about it a little bit. We kind of touched on it here, but what is next for you? Where do you see yourself going? Is it, or do you want to go down the wrestling path? Do you want to kind of just take a step back and just see, where you might go next? And I know, from what I understand, you said you're entering in as another year with 17th Door. So where are you going? Where do you see yourself headed?
This may be my final year at the 17th Door. However, I have been saying that for the last couple of years, so sure. But I'm kind of taking a step back from really pursuing anything performance-based, because I've let myself down so far in the past and have been ashamed of whatever, that I kind of realized that one day I just realized that I'm carrying all this shame and stuff with me. It's like, so I'm just going to kind of sit down. Oh, okay. I'm just going to pick up my desire to act and my shame about it. I'm just going to put it here in this corner. And when we decide it's time to come back to this, we can come back to this. But I'm just keeping myself open to opportunities. I'm trying to go back to school a little bit to learn how to weld.
Mm-hmm.
because I've worked in a couple different theaters as backstage, like Pageant the Masters or SCR, South Coast Repertory. It's been a while since I've been there, but I've had several people ask me, "Do you know how to weld?" No, I don't. Okay, we'll teach you. They never taught me, but it'd just be a good trade to have, just to have in my back pocket. And I know it's really useful, but I refuse to shame myself further for not pursuing my dreams, and I keep myself open and available and manifesting, or the law of attraction, whatever. And if somebody says, "Hey, you want to come do this?" I go, "Absolutely. What time?"
Yeah, no, and that's what I love about you, Amanda. You are a go-getter, and you're like, yeah, let's go for it. So, again, congrats. I'm excited to see what happens. Let's not let so much time go in between. Hopefully, I can see you and talk to you a little bit more often.
Oh, I'm going to be blowing up your phone at least once every other month.
Yeah, no, but for sure. But thank you again for coming on here, and I'm very excited and happy for you.
Thank you for having me. This was a huge boost to my ego and my confidence.
Wavehealernation, there you have it. Amanda Picard. Make sure you look out for her on 17th Door. We'll stitch everything up for you so you can find her on the socials. And until the next episode.